Straight drop by Brock. Throws left. Juszczyk wide open. Inside the 10. Inside the 5. First and goal 49ers on the 3. Can we all do it now?
Juice! That is the ISO bob pass. So they fake the ISO lead, the fullback lead, and Juice. Kyle Juszczyk just keeps going on a wheel route. Got the linebackers and the safety to suck up. Brock Purdy is not going to miss when they get nosy like that. Dropped it right on the money to Juice. First down and goal at the 3.
All right, fun memory from the opening night win over the Jets. Less fun in Minnesota on Sunday. Maybe more fun this Sunday in L.A. Either way, we'll talk about it with our 49ers Player of the Week. He's 49ers fullback Kyle Juszczyk, and he's sponsored by Bigelow Tea. Grab a mug and tea proudly. Kyle, it's always great to have you on KNBR, the morning show. Brian Murphy, Marcus Boucher, Murph and Markus. How you doing this morning, Kyle?
What's up, Juice?
Hey, I'm doing good, guys. How are you guys?
What's you up to today, man? What's the game plan?
I'm on my way into work right now. It's a recovery off day, so we got some acupuncture, we got some weightlifting, we got some red light therapy, hot and cold tub, all that good stuff.
Nice, dude. What's red light therapy? What's that?
So we use this brand. It's called Juve, but basically you stand in front of this panel of lights, red lights and infrared lights that boost the ATP production in all your cells, which, if you remember from science class back in like 7th grade, is what's responsible for energy in your body. And so just boost your energy, help you recover faster, turn skin cells over faster, all that kind of good stuff.
Damn, how long you been doing that?
You know what? I've actually been doing it for probably like 7 years now. I think we got them maybe my second year with the Niners, and I've been pretty consistent about it. 10 minutes a day, twice a day, every day.
Wow. Do you think is there any way to tell the effect of it, or is it just mental kind of and trusting it?
Well, each year when, we get new young guys to the team or, rookies, and I tell them how old I am, they're always blown away by the number. They can't believe that I'm actually 33. So that's proof in the pudding for me enough. I'll take those results.
You are the man who's defying the aging process. I love it. So get that red light. I need some red light therapy. We get up at 4 in the morning. We need red light therapy,
We
Kyle.
can all use it, Kyle.
Oh, man. All right. Well, tell us, listen, you've been around a long time. You've been to Super Bowls. You know the deal. Week 2 is week 2, but still, can you give us a gauge of the mood of the team after the loss and flying home on Sunday night from Minnesota?
Yeah, obviously nobody's happy after the loss, but I definitely wouldn't say that we weren't down in the dumps by any means. I think we all see it as something to learn from, one that we let get away, but we also understand that it is a tough place to play. I think they're a pretty good team. They offer some really unique looks on the defensive side. And I just think that there's stuff to learn from, but I by no means are we panicking or, sounding the alarm.
Kyle, we got to ask you what the feeling's like in the locker room right now. Obviously, with the news that Christian McCaffrey's on the IR and Debo also scheduled to miss a couple weeks. You're close with the guys. What's the feeling around the locker room and how those guys are reacting to the injury news?
Yeah, obviously we want those guys out there. I think those are by far 2 of the best offensive players in this league. So it's always better to have them out there than not. But they've handled it very well, I think, especially, Christian's been dealing with this all at training camp. But he's stayed very positive, very supportive of everyone. And, it's given JP a chance to get more reps and really hone his craft. And we've seen that carry over to the games on Sundays. He's been playing pretty lights out these first 2 weeks. And Debo is kind of, that's new news that we all learned yesterday. And, that's definitely going to hurt with just how dynamic he is and how we've been able to use him, as a running back with Christian out and all that he offers in the passing game, going over 100 yards receiving last week. So definitely not ideal not having those guys, but, we have a full week to prepare with them out and get the guys ready who need to step up and, plan on them doing exactly that.
Kyle Juszczyk is the voice you hear on the UMA guest line, our 49ers Player of the Week, and he's a great guy to talk to for perspective after a tough loss in Minnesota. Are we talking to somebody who will get an increased workload because of these injuries? Kyle, you ready? You ready to carry it? Ready to tote the rock?
Oh, come on. You guys know I'm always ready. And I'm always lobbying for that. I don't know how many carries I'll be getting, but, I mean, we've already seen in the first couple weeks, you know, I'll step in there on third downs here and there to try and lighten the load for the running backs a little bit. But you know, I'm always ready to carry more. So whatever Kyle needs me to do, I'm always willing to step up.
Yeah, and we were taking a look at some of the stats earlier from your guys' backfield, and Jordan Mason is actually tied for the most carries in the NFL right now. And it's funny, Juice, because we were discussing about how the NFL is always labeled a passing league. But so far through 2 weeks of the NFL season, passing numbers are down. So does it feel like there's a shift back towards old school football and running the ball again?
I do kind of feel that. I feel like, you know, you've been seeing that with us for, you know, a number of years now, and I feel like that's why we've been one of the better offenses in this league for a while. It's because we're able to run the ball so well. And I think other teams, you know, they start to recognize that and try to do the same for themselves. And so I do think you're seeing that across the league. And I really say this about so many things in the NFL of what a cyclical league it is. And, you know, people always ask me about the fullback position and how, like, you know, is there going to be a resurgence and all that kind of stuff. And it is always interesting to see how, you know, the league was really moving towards, you know, basically all 11 personnel, 3 receivers on the field. And then, you know, defenses responded by getting smaller, faster linebackers. You have, you know, all these nickel guys that can play in the box. And then now I think you're kind of seeing a little bit of the shift back to, all right, let's put some bigger guys back on the field on offense, run the ball, because we have these lighter guys inside the box. And, you know, eventually you're going to see bigger linebackers start coming around. And it's a constant balance, ebb and flow of, you know, one side reacting to the other.
Yeah, it's a great observation, and it is playing out right before our eyes. Passing numbers are down, and listen, a guy like Jordan Mason, I mean, man, people have it. We started joking like baby Marshawn, kind of. I mean, it's so physical, right? If he's different than McCaffrey, Christian wants to make you miss. Does Jordan want to run through you?
Yeah, two very different styles, but both very effective. JP is no BS. He is, you know, put your foot in the ground, get downhill, you know, get an edge on the defender and run through him. And that's what really has fit him so well. And he really, I think he does such a good job of just being decisive and not trying to do too much. He's not out there dancing and trying to make guys miss like that. But he knows that if he can just get on the edge of a defender, he's fast enough, he's strong enough, powerful enough to break those tackles and get those extra yards. And, you know, you look up at the end of the game and an extra yard or two at the end of each run, that really adds up, especially over, you know, 20 carries. You know, you're looking at an extra, you know, 30, 40 yards at the end of the game.
Yeah, and he also has the benefit of running behind great run blockers like yourself, George Kittle, Trent Williams, and all the boys in the trenches. And then even on the outside, whether it's guys like Juwan Jennings or Brandon Ayuk, I love how you guys embrace this no block, no rock mentality. So tell us more about that, Kyle.
Yeah, I think it's just something that's kind of infectious in this offense, because it really is. It's our identity. Like we spend so much time talking about the run game, so much time like in meetings when we're watching film, hyping up, you know, good blocks, and it's across the board from wide receivers, offense linemen, tight ends, running backs. Like everybody is bought in, so that if you want to be a part of this offense, you got to get involved in the run game, and you got to be willing to block. And, you know, you see your brother do it, and you want to do it for him. And so it just everybody works off of each other, and everybody gets hyped for one another. And honestly, it's so fun to be a part of.
Brand, a couple more minutes here with Kyle Juszczyk here, who's getting his way into some therapy and recuperation as the Niners get ready for the Rams on Sunday, who have their own injury problems too. But before we ask you about the Rams, we got to talk about Brock Purdy. I mean, I know he's been great about blocking out noise. There's going to be noise now. You don't have CMC. You don't have Debo. Brock, what are you made of? You know, I don't know, Kyle. You've been around the league a long time. How do you block out the noise? I think that's in your locker room, right? Ignore the noise. That's one of the signs up there. And, you know, is there extra pressure on him now without his security blankets of Debo and CMC?
Yeah. Luckily, I think Brock truly is one of the best at blocking out the noise. And I think a lot of that is just, staying off social media. That's just the world that we live in now. There's so much, unfortunately, there's so much negativity on social media, even when you're doing well. There's always people trying to poke holes in your game. So for him, I think it's always important, staying off of that. But I think Brock, he gets his confidence in his teammates and how supportive we are to him and to his face. And we'll tell him, how much we believe in him. And we'll go out there and we'll prove it, And I think that's kind of what he can lean on here going forward, without Debo and Christian is, seeing, okay, you don't have, those two elite guys. You still got Brandon Ayuk, you got George Kittle, you got Juwan Jennings, you got myself, JP. Like, there's still a lot of weapons on this offense, a lot of, tools in the tool shed. So I think Brock's going to handle that just fine.
Last couple minutes here with Kyle Juszczyk on the UMA guest line. Kyle, you're taking on the Rams this weekend. Familiar opponent in familiar stadium. It's a stadium that 49ers have taken over multiple times before. So talk to us about how big of an advantage it is to have a home field advantage when you're on the road.
It's huge. It really is huge. It makes all the difference. When you're on the road in a loud environment and it makes it hard to communicate, it makes it hard to hear the snap count, it truly does make a difference in the performance of your offense, because communication is everything. We don't have the shortest plays around the league, so there's a lot of details that we need to hear in every play call. Getting off the rock and getting off the line of scrimmage on the snap count is everything, and getting positioning in your blocks and all that sort of stuff. So for us to be able to do that on the road, it's such an advantage, and something that, we don't take lightly, and that's why we appreciate our faithful, man. They travel like nobody else, and it really, really does make a difference. And
Minnesota was it's interesting, there were a lot of red jerseys there, but I think that purple and that stupid horn, they might have drowned them out.
You know what, there was a couple times, when you're on the sideline and you see a flag come out, basically, you can kind of tell what's going on during a game without even watching it, just based on the cheers when you're on the road. Typically, if you hear cheering, it's a bad thing, and you figure that the other team has made a good play. But there were a couple times this past week where I wasn't sure. So the faithful showed up, pretty solidly out in Minnesota, but I expect even more in Levi.
All right, finally. SoFi, right? Levi South. Last one. You get to brag about Kristen. 1.1 million followers on Instagram. I saw she's posting some new stuff. It was incredible last playoffs, how she blew up like crazy. What you got, man? What can you get a chance to brag about Kristen Juszczyk and her design and fashion? What she got cooking?
Man, I can't say enough about just how far she's come and how proud I am of her. It's been, such a whirlwind the past year, but she's handled it so well. And she had a really cool collaboration that she just came out with Gatorade, where she designed the bottle, the towel, and a duffel bag. And honestly, I want to say so much more that is coming out, but I can't give away any secrets. But just know that this girl is so busy. There's not a day that goes by that she's not working on some project, or some company wants to collaborate with her or something. So just lots of good things to come, and I'm so happy for her.
Man, everybody should check it out. Designs by Kristen. You go check it out. designsbykristen.com. That's TIN at the end of Kristen. She is the bomb, man. So you guys got it going on. You guys look like you're living your best lives. So we're happy for you, Kyle. All right, man. Off you go. Get that red light therapy. And stay young, bro.
That's the key, brother.
And we appreciate you hopping on Murph and Markus. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, Juice.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
There he is. Always good. Kyle Juszczyk. He's, of course, sponsored by Benjamin Moore Paints. Experience the Benjamin Moore retail difference at our independently owned, authorized retailers today or at benjaminmoore.com. Well, he talked about the other weapons. It's going to be Brandon Ayuk. It's going to be George Kittle. It's going to be J.P. Mason. It's going to be Juwan Jennings. It's going to be him. Those would be the 5 leading guys, because you got no Debo, you got no CMC. Can Brock Purdy make something out of those names? You'd think.
Yeah.
With Kyle's playbook and those names I just mentioned, you should be okay.
And can those 5 names make it easier on Brock Purdy by running the damn ball?